Romelu Lukaku and Mason Mount spotted in Chelsea training as they step up return from injury ahead of Man United showdown. Chelsea received a welcome boost on Friday as Romelu Lukaku and Mason Mount returned to training. This comes before the Blues host Manchester United in a heavyweight clash at Stamford Bridge on Sunday. Chelsea will be buoyed by the return of Lukaku and Mount to their Cobham-based training ground. The West London club are 4 points clear at the top after a comfortable victory at Leicester last weekend. Chelsea have only lost one league game all season, to title rivals Man City. After a hot start to the season, Lukaku, their main man up front, twisted his ankle in a Champions League game. Although the rest of the Chelsea team have stepped up to help contribute to the goals, Chelsea will have still missed Lukaku's firepower. He will be welcomed back on Sunday against a Maguire-less starting 11, as the United captain is suspended. Mason Mount has been out recovering from dental surgery. The English midfielder missed World Cup qualifying with England but returned midweek, coming off the bench in Chelsea's win against Juventus. He is now expected to start on Sunday. Ben Chilwell sends message to Chelsea fans after suffering ACL injury. Ben Chilwell admits he's very frustrated after suffering an anterior cruciate ligament injury which could rule him out for the rest of Chelsea's season. The England international was forced off during Chelsea's 4-0 victory over Juventus in the Champions League on Tuesday evening. The 24-year-old has been one of Chelsea's top performers in recent weeks and he has vowed to return as quickly as he can. "Very frustrating picking up an injury in a moment like this when I am really enjoying my football and playing in this team," Chilwell posted on Twitter. "I will do everything I can to get back on the pitch as soon as possible. Thank you for all the messages of support." Marcos Alonso and Cesar Azpilicueta are the two current options to replace Chilwell in the wing-back role, whilst Christian Pulisic and Callum Hudson-Odoi can also play in the position. It remains to be seen as to if Chilwell can return after the initial 6-week period that he is confirmed to be out for. Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel reveals if Romelu Lukaku will play against Manchester United and provides Ben Chilwell update. Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel has played down the likelihood of Romelu Lukaku featuring against Manchester United while he allayed fears that Ben Chilwell is out for the season. Lukaku has not played for the Blues since the middle of October but provided a welcome boost when he was named on the bench against Juve, though that is where he is likely to remain when ex-club United visit Stamford Bridge on Sunday. Asked about the striker's chances of playing, Tuchel said at his pre-match press conference, "Romelu is in training. If you ask the player he would say, 'Yes, I can start, for sure.' But there is a bit of difference between ready for training and ready for games. And there's also a difference between ready for games and Premier League games, this is another step. Listen, we only have 3 changes. The possibility that he starts is not very high because we cannot be sure what happens in between matches and we have to find the balance between giving minutes but also being absolutely competitive for 90 minutes with the guys who start." Chilwell, meanwhile, had to be helped off the pitch against Juventus and there were fears he could miss the rest of the season with an ACL injury. But Tuchel is cautiously optimistic that the in-form left-back will not require surgery and could return after 6 weeks, though his injury needs to be carefully managed. Ben is out. He has a partial tear of his ACL, and the decision is to treat it conservatively, explained the German coach. The next 6 weeks will tell the story if he makes it and be available or if he will need surgery. There is never a good moment for big injuries or injuries in general. This personally is a very bad moment because he was so involved and full of confidence. He was so important in our victories. We are very sad but he at the moment is very positive because his body has reacted positively to the first treatments and the injury." On Conte and Mateo Kovacic, Tuchel added, "Kova is still out for the game on Sunday. N'Golo twisted his knee a little bit against Juventus and feels better but it seems he will be out for some days. We still have a little hope but it's almost a miracle if he makes it." Chelsea are reportedly ready to loan out flop goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga. And former Blues boss Maurizio Sarri, now in charge of Lazio, is keen, despite their infamous Carabao Cup final fight. Goal claims Kepa is desperate for minutes after finding himself playing second fiddle to Edouard Mendy. However, the Senegal star has solidified his spot as arguably the best goalkeeper in Europe. And there is no chance of Thomas Tuchel dropping him just to keep Kepa happy. As a result, the Spaniard is apparently keen on a January loan move. Even though they will lose Mendy to the African Cup of Nations, Chelsea are reportedly prepared to sanction Kepa's exit. One club thought to be keen are Lazio, now managed by ex-Blues gaffer Sarri. The Italian won the Europa League during his one season at Stamford Bridge. But Sarri's time in England is best remembered for his bust-up with Kepa during the 2019 Carabao Cup final defeat to Man City. Sarri tried subbing the stopper for Willy Caballero as the game headed to a penalty shootout. Kepa infamously refused to come off the pitch, resulting in a furious standoff with Sarri. The tactician ended up relenting as City beat the Blues from the spot. The Spaniard's punishment saw him dropped from the starting 11 for several games. However, it appears the pair have patched things up with Sarri now looking at a reunion. Lazio are already 11 points off joint Serie A leaders Napoli and AC Milan. And with former Chelsea forward Pedro already in Rome, Kepa could end up joining his Spanish compatriot in the Italian capital. Chelsea stars Reece James and Trevoh Chalobah saved the club £130 million after two failed transfer bids gave them chance. Chelsea fans wouldn't dream of calling Reece James and Trevoh Chalobah bargain basement defenders this season. But the Blues' hot shots have saved their club a whopping £130 million in transfer fees. That is after boss Thomas Tuchel failed in attempts to bring in two blockbuster signings last summer. Chelsea saw bids for both Achraf Hakimi and Jules Koundé turned down as they tried desperately to shore up their defence. Right-back Hakimi instead left Inter Milan for Paris Saint-Germain in a £51.3 million deal. Koundé meanwhile stayed put at Sevilla after Chelsea failed to trigger his £69 million release clause. After failing to land either of his two defensive targets, Tuchel was forced to turn to homegrown options, and what a success that has proven to be. James is being recognised as one of European football's most potent attacking threats with his flying runs down the right. The wing-back is currently Chelsea's top scorer after finding the net 5 times in all competitions already this season. He even had to wait his turn before making the right side his own after Tuchel experimented with Callum Hudson-Odoi in that position early on. James's fellow academy graduate Chalobah is thriving in Tuchel's favoured back three and has even chipped in with a handful of goals himself. Their stellar form has contributed to the Premier League leader's staggering defensive record. Tuchel has conceded just 24 goals in his first 50 games in charge, the lowest total ever for a manager at an English club. And Chelsea have kept a staggering 31 clean sheets in that period. Thomas Tuchel praises Chelsea Academy after impressive start to season. Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel has praised the club's academy after their mightily impressive start to the season. The Blues are currently top of the Premier League table by 3 points after 12 games, ahead of title rivals Liverpool and Manchester City. As well as this, Chelsea have secured progression to the knockout stages of the Champions League thanks to their 4-0 thrashing of Juventus on Tuesday night, with 3 Cobham products all getting onto the scoresheet. Speaking to the media ahead of the clash against Manchester United on Sunday, Tuchel was asked whether or not he was surprised with the quality that some of the academy's players possess. Surprised? I don't know. We saw it very quickly in training. We have some very good kids here. What makes me maybe the happiest is how much they care about the shirt and the club, how much they care about their career to make it here. This is very impressive and very nice to see. This makes it special. Not only for me as a coach but for spectators. Of course, for our supporters, but I think for all people who love the game, love the teamwork in the game that can make the difference. It is a fantastic mix between homegrown talents, still young boys with the future in front of them. They have still not reached the highest level, still have grown in personality and character but also football-wise. It is a fantastic mix between top players from abroad. That makes it very exciting for me to work with. I think that gives also for spectators and guys who love the game a special feeling, which is amazing. Trevoh, Chalobah, Reece James and Callum Hudson-Odoi were all successful in front of goal against Juventus. Chelsea's goals from academy products now total 14 for the season so far, with the likes of Mason Mount and Andreas Christensen also netting for the Blues.
That is on Chelsea News today. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.